Okay, guys, here we go again. I am back. 2017 upon us. The holidays, they've just come and gone. And, well, I've got something special for you here today, kind of celebrating the past year, 2016, one of the great watches introduced in the 2016 year, all the way back in Basel World. And now they're starting to find their way around the world, and it is a special one for sure. This watch that I'm about to show you is, again, a limited edition, but it really is a spectacular marvel of Japanese craftsmanship, and here it is, the Seiko 60th Anniversary Presage SRQ021, the Urushi Lacquer dial chronograph. This is an in-house 8R48 column wheel, chronograph with a vertical clutch, a 45-hour power reserve, and it is really a beauty. Now, each one of these really lustrous, deep black dials takes over 3 weeks to produce in the studio of the master craftsman Isshu Tamura, who personally oversaw this whole process. The process of creating lacquer and then putting it and applying it to a surface is really something quite amazing, and it's very detailed. There's an enormous amount of hands-on, very precise work, and the process is several stages, and really remarkable. Now, there is a companion piece to this really interesting model. You can see here the back, the see-through case back, seeing the rather simple but nevertheless nice-looking 8R48. It's got a gold rotor there that's got some turning on it. Not heavy decorative things happening there. It's really, once again, all about the cosmetics and the pure beauty of this face. But I'll tell you, if you read up about what goes into the work of taking the sap of the Japanese lacquer tree and creating this incredible organic, almost a living surface that with age becomes harder, becomes more durable, and really turns into something quite spectacular each and every year that goes by. This really is an heirloom piece. This is something you hand down to generations that you keep in your family, and it will last that long. And the same can be said certainly for the beautiful white porcelain version of this 60th anniversary, and in the future we will show that one as well. But this one is actually quite rare and hard to find, in my opinion. There seems to be quite a lot of interest in the white dialed version of this, but I have to tell you, I'm so impressed with this just spectacular look, that the depth of this material once it's been applied to the dial of this watch. And you can see on the wrist, I put it on the salesman's wrist. He's got a small wrist for sure. It nevertheless is doable. 42 millimeters wide, not including the crown, about 15 millimeters thick. Again, chronographs like this tend to be a little bit on the thicker side to accommodate the movement. Now, this is a special one I wanted to show you here. Just do a quick run through on these two. If you cannot find the SRQ021, these are both something to mention. These are the Seiko Presage. Again, these are Urushi lacquer dialed, the SARD012, which is the rose gold, and the SARD011, which is the silver stainless with the Urushi dial, and that has some gold hands there. We'll get a close look at these. These I really do think are terrific, and they are more widely available. They have absolutely unique day and date subdials, as well as a power reserve indication dial. We have a more widely available movement on this one. Obviously, we got a 6R24B, a 31 jewel movement. Nevertheless, elegant layout, really nice looking, easier to find, and at 40.5 millimeters in diameter and only about 13 millimeters, a little bit over 13 millimeters thick, with a 20 millimeter lug width for your strap there. Really is a much more versatile size overall for a number of different wrist types. Not as imposing, I think, as the larger one, the SRQ021. But I've got to tell you, they are both beautifully done, and their price point is a little bit lower, but nevertheless, these are very well done, and they do have the same process in designing these really beautiful lacquer dials. But I'm going to tell you guys, the sheer depth of the lacquering, it is like a velvet oil slick. There's just something really impressive about this kind of a surface, and the knowledge of the craftsmanship in and of itself is something kind of special to know that you'd have on your wrist. This is thousands of years of craftsmanship that goes into the concept of creating lacquer. It comes from nature, and it is not just your everyday synthetic manufacturing process. This really is a time-honored tradition of Japan, and if you do appreciate Japanese watches, I've got to believe that this would be something that would be intriguing. Now, I will note that there are a couple other variations of this watch if the gold features do not suit your fancy. There is an all-stainless, kind of all-silver option. For me, this one is the one I really do love. I would love to buy one. This one here was spoken for, so keep in mind there are only a few left. There are some out there. They do tend to find their prices going up once they make that secondary market. They are out there on some of the Japan sellers. Feel free to take a look in a number of places. Occasionally, you will see one of these come up in the pre-owned market. I've seen a couple of the enamel dial versions of this one here in the U.S. recently. They were priced significantly lower, and yet they were still in phenomenal condition. So occasionally, if you're lucky and you are keeping your eye out, you will find one in the pre-owned market, and you will still have yourself a incredible watch, one that you can keep in your collection for many years. And I really do think these will last for decades and decades and decades, and still have, if you take excellent care of it and you maintain it, you will have something that really will be worth more money for sure down the road, and it's just a beautiful timepiece that is worth keeping in your family, for that matter. Guys, tell me what you think about these. I would love to hear from you on these. Do you have anything like this in your collection right now? Would you pay this much for a Seiko? There's no question, about $2,000 or more for the big one there. These guys, a little lower. You're looking south of about $1,500. You might even find one for $1,200. Depends where you look. Keep your eyes open. These are a little bit more accessible, for sure, but nevertheless still really beautiful. And when you get into this lacquer, it's just something really neat. I really do think it's a special process. Guys, tell me once again what you think. I'd love to hear from you. I've got a lot more stuff coming up. Don't worry, the diving category isn't being left out. It is the next couple of days. I do have some things coming up for you. Stay tuned. If you're new to the channel, please like and subscribe. And as always, guys, I will talk to you soon.